Are the Nets making a mistake rushing James Harden back?
Yes, obviously. But first, let's preface with how, unfortunately, we may all get to miss the answer to the question we all had.
Ooh.
Kevin Durant, could you be LeBron James for a day?
Oh, can you stop? First of all, I love that cadence, that rhythm you were flowing with, but then you just messed it up with the lyrics.
Could you be LeBron James for a day? So we were all going to get the answer tonight. We was all going to get the answer. We was all going to get to see just for one day, KD, could you be LeBron and carry a team of no names to the finals 2007? Could you be LeBron and carry a team of no maximal superstars to the finals 2018? Could you be LeBron for a day? And unfortunately, we may not get to find
Good,
out.
because nobody wanted to know that except you.
So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. KD, I apologize. We were going to get to answer the age-old question.
Oh,
yes,
man.
the Nets are making a huge mistake rushing James Harden back. Someone answer me, when in the playoffs has rushing a superstar back worked?
Oh, okay.
Anthony Davis gets rushed back, re-aggravates his injury. Kevin Durant, 2018 NBA Finals. 2019 NBA Finals. He misses 9 games. Remember, calf injury. Comes back, first game back against the Raptors. That's not good. Klay Thompson, remember, he had a hamstring injury, game 2 of the NBA Finals against the Raptors.
Okay.
He comes back too soon. Y'all know how the kinetic chain works. Unfortunately, Klay Thompson, ACL injury. When does rushing a star player in the playoffs ever work? Remember, I've said this before. It is excess load too quickly that leads to injury. It is intensity plus volume too quickly leads to injury. James Harden, big dog, you cannot go from being out to doubtful to questionable to, barring any setbacks, we expect him to start in less than 3 hours. That's not how that works. So it's a huge mistake, a huge mistake to rush James Harden back. And dare I say, it's an indictment on the greatest player on the planet, Kevin Durant, that they felt the need to rush James Harden back.
Yeah.
If you got the best player on the planet and you can do it without James Harden, why rush him back?
Oh, I got an answer to that.
Unless you don't think you have the best player on the planet. Unless you don't think you can do it without James Harden. Huge indictment on Kevin Durant, in my opinion, but you please enlighten me, sir.
Yeah, I hope the mics are picking up when you go into that little moment, when you whisper like that. Skinny Luther Vandross, rest in peace. When you go into that zone, where's Acho? Where's the football player I used to know and wanted to host a show with without a moderator? Where did he go? Because, boy, you know damn well they're not making a mistake. This is the smartest thing they can do with the situation they were given. Let's be real about this. Everyone's incentivized to play. Every player, every coach wants their players to play, et cetera. We know that. You got to hold us back in moments like this, high-stakes moments in the playoffs. And if he can play, he should play. Let's talk about how we got down. Because if we could, we would. Don't act different up here now because that suit got tighter and you ain't got the pads on. So he's in the can conversation, so he will go out there and give it a try. With a hamstring with only 2 rounds potentially left, you know what they're thinking? We're never going to see a fully healthy James Harden. Facts?
Yes,
Facts?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that leads me to what I want to tell you, which is a philosophy conversation. You took us through the physics and the kinetic chain and all that. Acho, you're too literal for your own good, okay? What's 2 + 2? Let's do it again.
Somewhere between 3 and 5.
Yes,
It's 4.
It's 4 in a literal conversation, but since we're having a loosely interpreted, logical conversation, it's somewhere between 3 and 5. Thank you for the answer. The true definition of a dilemma is having 2 bad choices. You just outlined both of them with me. Let's walk through it for our viewers. One bad choice is to sit them. KD, man versus machine. Go out there and play against another 2-time MVP and 2 other All-Stars. Man versus machine. That's a bad choice. Here's the other bad choice. Hey, let's go put out 70% of James Harden and let him go out there and monitor himself. That's a bad decision as well. But the definition of dilemma is 2 bad choices. So, Acho, you and I are running this team right now. What's the lesser of the 2 evils? It's not to say, oh, let's save him. Save him for what? He ain't going to never be right this year. We already know that. So let's go out there and trust in the player, trust in the genius and the acumen, and let's see if he could go out there and self-manage.
But you know, Sel, better than anybody, the majority of people in the world, you cannot trust a player that's in the heat of the moment. What
Oh,
you
I
always
know
tell
that.
me, so far in the forest that you can't see the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant, yeah, let's trust him. He'll be back. He missed 9 games, 2019 NBA playoffs. Trust tore his Achilles. Klay Thompson, let's trust him. Hamstring injury. He said he can play. Oh, man. Tore his ACL. Anthony Davis, just this year, let's trust him, man. He knows what he's playing through with this strain. Bless you, big dog.
Thank you.
Actually, bless me.
Excuse me. Hey, cool. That COVID stuff, I hope it's behind us because, good Lord, that's sprayed.
Let's trust Anthony
bro.
Davis. Can't do that. He
Okay.
gets hurt after having 1 rebound, 1 assist. But the biggest thing is this, Sel. Game 6 is more important than Game 5, correct? We can establish that.
Yeah.
Game 6 more important than Game 5. And Game 7 more important than Game 6 if Game 7 happens
If
to
you're
be there.
fighting for 7, it's gangster.
What the Nets are doing is taking 1 step forward to take 3 steps back.
Let's go.
James Harden, you play this game, it might be a step forward, but James Harden is more likely to re-injure himself this game than to play meaningful ball in minutes.
Now,
Why?
yeah, where do you get that one from?
Where do I get that from?
You just, boy, we so cool. We ain't gonna agree on everything. What the hell is that?
March 31st, James Harden aggravated his hamstring.
Okay.
He missed 2 games. He missed 2 games. He came back.
Okay.
He missed 2 games, came back. He had to miss 18 games because he re-aggravated his hamstring.
Okay.
He comes back. He misses 9 games. Comes back in the playoffs, re-aggravates his hamstring. So what we know is this. James Harden, you've hurt your hamstring 3 times. The first time you missed 2 games. Came back, got hurt again. Then you missed 18 games. Came back, got hurt again. Then you missed 9 games. Came back, got hurt again. Now you're telling me you're only going to miss 4 games? And really 3 and some change?
Okay.
We've already seen the difference is this, America. When you have a hamstring tear, which is what James Harden has, he doesn't have hamstring tightness. Tightness doesn't keep you out of 4 games. A micro tear does. Then you can re-tear it. So for him to come back, Sale, we already know he's likely going to get hurt again because he's hurt his hamstring 3 times this season. So unfortunately, he will likely get hurt again. Why take a step forward to take 3 steps back? I would rather have James Harden at 90% in Game 6 and Game 7 than 70% in Game 5. I would rather have James Harden at 80% in Game 6 and Game 7 than 60% in Game 5. They are rushing him back for literally no reason.
Look, no, you wouldn't. You're sitting up here too comfortable. That's why you say that. But you're not in the heat of the battle. You're not sitting there where your job's on the line like we used to be as former
Whose job
players.
is on the line?
Let's be real. Everybody's job is always on the line because either you adding something good to your resume or something bad to your resume. And when it's over, don't act like that last moment is what did it. It's all those other dominoes that were falling that you weren't thinking about. So every time I messed up in the game, trust me, I knew that wasn't helping my cause. It was hurting my cause. What does Coach always say every time you show up? Either you're getting better or you're getting worse. In perception as well. Let's talk about this. James Harden at 70% is still going to be the 3rd best player on the court. Be real. No shots, Chris Middleton. Don't be tweeting at me if you tweeter. Drew Holiday, don't shoot at me if you. James Harden will be the 3rd best player. If he's allowed to play, if he's capable of playing, he will be the 3rd.
Huge ifs.
Okay.
Huge
But
ifs.
but once we see that ball tipped off, and if James Harden is sitting there and there's a beard on the court, he's the 3rd best player. I'm going to tell you why.
Please do.
Because you're thinking about James Harden in totality like a dollar bill. You remember my dollar bill example. One solid 100% James Harden dollar bill. Let's go to church where even the pastor says, look, we'll take what jiggles, but we prefer what folds, if you understand what I'm saying. James Harden at 70% is some change. We'll take it, but we prefer him as a whole. But we got to take what we can right now because the collection plate is going around. KD passing it, too. He like, yo, I need some help over here. Joe Harris, damn, you've been slumping of late. You can't be the 2nd best player. So we going to understand what's happening here. There's a couple of things I want to edit about what you're saying. One, you know when you compromise one of your senses, the other senses are enhanced.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if someone loses their sight, all of a sudden they hear better. All right, et cetera. So when you compromise how you're feeling, and you've been in this position before, miraculously, somehow, some way, you can still go out there and play better. Let me give you one literal reason why you can play better. Because the fastest thing on the court is not anybody, it's the ball.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell my son this all the time when he grab a ball in baseball, he try to run and then throw. I say, dog, that ball way faster than you just ran. So let go of the ball. James Harden, with his acumen, his genius, which will be enhanced because he's physically compromised, will all of a sudden be out there throwing around the fastest thing on the court, which is that ball, as an assist leader. Guarantee you, James Harden finishes his game 17 and 11 minimum. That's what we're going to see out of him, third best player on the court. And James Harden knows what he's dealing with. He knows he has to micromanage himself as he goes through that micro tear of his hamstring. All of these things add up, man. Some of my best games, my best season, I had a broken foot. My second best season, I had back surgery. Something about, now you can't go to this well too often, but there's something about being compromised, which enhances your focus and understands that you need to go out there and use other capabilities.
I agree with you.
Right.
When something is compromised, other abilities have to be enhanced.
They have to.
But that also means, because what does enhance mean? Heighten or increase. That also means you call on other things more than you would have otherwise.
That ain't good.
Remember when Klay Thompson's hamstring was compromised, his knees were called on to do more.
Yeah.
Maybe his IT bands were called on to do more. When Kevin Durant's calf was compromised, his Achilles was enhanced or called on to do more. When Anthony Davis's groin is compromised, thus his other groin is called on to do more or enhanced. So I don't disagree that James Harden is going to have to enhance other abilities. The issue is enhancing other abilities going to lead to the downfall of those same abilities? I also caution everyone of this.
I hear that.
Steve Nash is the worst head coach to have in this position. Here is why. Steve Nash has the most limited range of player management. Remember, Kyrie Irving was playing 34 minutes in the regular season on average. He was playing 43 minutes in the playoffs. Kevin Durant playing 33 minutes in the regular season on average. He was playing 41 minutes in the playoffs. James Harden, what he was playing in the regular season on average was drastically less in comparison to how many minutes they're playing in the playoffs. Steve Nash don't know nothing about load management. Steve Nash is learning on the fly. One of the greatest basketball players of all time, in my opinion. Obviously, I was a Mavs fan. He balled for the Mavericks.
Too.
But as far as a head coach, he don't really know how to do this whole management thing. He's just going to go out there and shoot all his bullets and see what he got left in the chamber. That's not how you can manage a hamstring. A hamstring, you're going to have to taper that down. But what I'm cautious of is this mostly. James Harden, you can get through warm-ups. 2014, I have a torn groin before the Cowboys game Thanksgiving Day on 4 days of rest. I got through warm-ups with ease. General manager Howie Roseman standing there, head coach Chip Kelly, linebacker coach Rick Minter, defensive coordinator Billy Davis. They're all watching me, make sure I clear the warm-up drills to clear me for the game. I did that with ease because I know when my coach says, hey, left, I'm moving left, right, I'm moving right, back, I'm moving back, forward, I'm moving forward. I know all the movements that are coming, so my brain can tell my body, hey, what's about to happen, and it can prepare for that movement so that I do not get hurt.
I'm with you.
But come game time, when all of a sudden I don't realize that DeMarco Murray's about to do that, and now I have to respond, now I get hurt. James Harden, he can easily go through warm-ups. Shuffle left, shuffle right, okay, opened up, box out. He can do all that. But what's he going to do when Giannis is on a break and about to go to the cup? What's he going to do when Drew Holiday rips him and now he has to make a sudden movement to try to go get the ball back? That is what I am worried about. Talk to me.
The beauty of our show, no moderator, baby. We gonna keep it pure, uncut dope up in here. You nailed that. Now, let me counter that nail with this point. When you go out there and start healthy in your mind, or at least you're in a belief system that I'm good, that's when you really get re-injured. Think about it. All the instances you brought up, those guys thought that they were good. Versus someone who goes out there like, no, I know I'm not good. However, I'm going to keep the governor on. You know what that is? I'm going to make some business decisions every single play, right? I've been there before where I'm like, all right, I'm good. Forget when I played. Let's talk about last Sunday. My hips been feeling really good. Like to the point I'm using this CBD oil and all this stuff. I don't feel high. I guess THC too. I ain't going to lie. So I'm rubbing it in. It's feeling better, much better. Sunday, my son, after practice, everybody wants to run. All these 5-year-olds running around. I'm the monster. And, you know, I still got a little short burst. Ask Keyshawn Johnson. I smoked his ass. So I still got that in me. And I could catch these kids. And then one kid ran under the slide. I said, I know you got to come out. I jumped over the slide, landed. Reminded me. Because in my mind, I thought I was healthy. Now, every other week I do it, I know I ain't healthy. I ain't had the oil. So I was just out there not doing everything. Watch James Harden. He gonna know how to govern himself. He's gonna understand I'm not here to run after Drew Holiday all game long. I'm just here to get my 17 and 11, make sure that KD doesn't have to carry the burden all by himself, and let's get this. Oh, by the way, Steve Nash got 2 head coaches on the side with him, D'Antoni, Jacques Vaughn. So he ain't that damn underman.